want to get into a digitized atmosphere where everything works in a digitized manner and you are comfortable with it, make it an irreversible movement or irreversible progression, only then it will work. Geospatial technology, we call it the third eye. Then the automatic vehicle location system and the managerial response to war on terror. Why most of us talk in journalistic terms? Because we have not got into either the managerial skills or the technical skills which is needed in the present day movement towards a digital living. The technology is so transformational that bit of leapfrogging here and there is not going to make any difference. So we come to the ERP. Every government department ought to have a ERP. There has to be a SAP R/3 sort of ERP for the country, and the whole government works on that ERP. It is a comprehensive enterprise resource planning system providing seamless integration to day-to-day operations of police department. I'm talking about the police department. We have a ERP in Karnataka which has 12 modules, and its conceptualization, creation, and rollout. We intend to make a pioneering impact in this country, and the way at least the law enforcement agencies would go digital in the days to come. It has centralized architecture, bilingual, workflow design, role-based access. And after putting in around 12,000 pages of study material, we have been able to create a 522 screen, 417 report ERP, which around 20 lakhs of coding, 20 lakh lines of coding. The ERP has the primary modules of crime, law and order, and traffic, supported by finance, administration, and stores, which also has the EPROC. We have the armed reserve, motor transport, training, wireless, forensic science laboratory, and to cap all these 11 modules, we have the executive information system. The whole ERP is functioning in Karnataka. Somebody talked about the legacy systems. We have loads of legacy systems, but there is nobody to integrate. Integration of legacy systems is one of the most difficult things one can imagine of, and we don't have any expert in this country who can integrate legacy systems to an ERP or a single application solution or whichever manner. And the goal of the integration is to address wide range of management and technical issues. These are the legacy systems which we want to integrate in Karnataka, still in process. That is the electronic beat. GCare is GIS-based crime analysis and reporting engine. E-Khajane is our treasury software. E-procurement is the e-proc software of Government of Karnataka, which has indent management, e-tendering, and contract management. GPS-based automatic vehicle location system, traffic management center, and the BlackBerry operations which we have across Karnataka with regards to the traffic violations. With regards to CCTNS, is the most ambitious project which has been initiated by Government of India around 4 or 5 years back. It is still in the incubation stage, and Government of India was kind enough to agree to allow us to use the Police ID software, which is our ERP solution. So the front end remains what we wanted, and the whole funding and logistical infrastructure, IT support, consultancy, and project management support systems have been provided by Government of India. So Police IT, Wipro being the developer. CCTNS is one of the mission mode projects, second biggest mission mode project in the country, which intends to integrate 14,000 plus police stations and 6,000 police officers across the country. And Karnataka was accepted as one of the lead states with Andhra Pradesh and a couple of other states. And finally, it is CCTNS Police IT in Karnataka. We are nearly through with the whole CCTNS project. All our 906 police stations and all police officers are working with the ERP Police IT. We have exclusive Karnataka State Police Wide Area Network and KSP Data Center, which helps us to both have exclusivity plus an interface with whichever organization, whichever stakeholder, in whichever manner, with access and privileges. It's fully functional for last few years. CCTNS has accepted it as a standard model. We have another Sakal project in Karnataka for guarantee of government services delivery that has also accepted this software as a fully functional software and integrated their systems, aligned their systems with our system. The whole thing is controlled and it is supervised, monitored, run by 75 police personnel who are MCSE and CCNA certified personnel. This is the KSP connectivity which I have, which we have around 1,400 police stations plus other smaller offices which run on 512 kbps VPN over broadband, and 2 Mbps MPLS lines for around 39 locations, converging in an aggregation bandwidth of 32 Mbps as is shown here. It's presently, I think, 40 Mbps, and then internet lease line of 8 Mbps, aggregating, converging into one single server. This is the data center which we run our own because of the support from CCTNS. I think around 6 HP engineers are also supporting our people. There's a constable who is highly trained, highly qualified. He is the chief of the Karnataka State Police Data Center and has been running it for last more than 2.5 years. Besides this, we have automatic vehicle location system, e-beat, e-procurement, G-Care. At the point of e-proc, I'd just like to mention one thought of mine, which I often repeat, is to whatever ails this country, there are only two methods by which we can provide a panacea. One is e-proc, where the whole procurement mechanism goes out of the person who is supposed to control the procurement mechanism, and second is project management. Till the day we don't become experts in e-proc, starting from the intent, starting from the configuration, starting from the scope, starting from technical configuration, starting from all the financial details, and we are able to put the right checks and balances at every single point, we will not be able to be successful in running the nation in the manner it should be. I have created the system integrators RFP in Karnataka without the help of any consultant, and of late HP is the system integrator. I don't mind sharing with people around. So they are worried about the fact that the payment for the hardware is related to the deployment of the software, or to the enhancement and deployment of the software. So that is how you bind a vendor. That is how you bind a contractor. Whatever we might think of a MNC or any other organization, for me, he is primarily a contractor, and he is supposed to do whatever is written in the scope of work. It's as simple as this. Until unless we have these fundas clear, we will get into issues which are unconnected with the work order. Persisting challenges, this is the last of 2-3 of the last slides. One is the procurement issue. We don't know what we are buying, when we are buying, for what purpose we are buying. So the whole integrated project, integrated procurement planning related to every single task, every single activity, every single feature, and every single functionality of every single department and ministry. That should be the basic guiding principle in deciding upon procurement. And the procurement has to be integrated with whatever we already have in the inventory and whatever we propose to have through differential channels of funding. We have differential channels of funding today. We get money from United Nations, we get money from Planning Commission, we get from our regular budget, we get from CCTNS, we get from Government of Karnataka. There are a lot many things are there. It needs a real finance brain and a technical brain and a governance brain, all mixed into each other, or rather synergized so efficiently and seamlessly that you are able to handle this project. Project management I have talked about. Maintenance is another great issue. Projects are created, projects are laid, projects are deployed, but it doesn't function in the manner it should. There is an IT survey which says not more than 20 to 30% of the functionalities take place. Integration we have talked about at length. There are long-standing maintenance contracts inclusive of scalability. We have GE having as good as a near permanent contract with Microland in Bangalore. So our maintenance also should be a long duration. It has to be something based on understanding, technically, financially, and on the administrative managerial principles. Core management team, there is no multinational in this world, does not have a core management team for any single activity which is outsourced. But somehow, unfortunately, we believe in outsourcing as completely handing our autonomy, sovereignty, department, everything to the private enterprise. That the private enterprise is supposed to do the job. Every single piece of monitoring, maintenance, supervision, control, correction, rectification, penalty, that has to be done by the core department. Deployment of low-quality professional staff on government projects, that has been seen across e-governance projects, might be because of the penal clauses not being used in the manner it should be. The way the companies are sued in the US and the Europe, I think has not become the order of the day. The fear of law, the rule of law, I think that also needs a lot of correction. Major consultancy issues, we have semi-government agencies running consultancy. I don't think how much of consultancy has helped us on single national projects. There are consultancy across states. Single consultancy might help more for standardization, for uniformity. There has to be real standards for everything we do, whether it's product, service, maintenance, and the like, and has to be uniformly led across the country. Can we create a demonstrated capability to deliver projects on time with quality assurance? This is a big question. If we are able to do this, I think we would be successful in the days to come. I've got a huge internet presence. You can see my personal website. It has loads of stuff on management and technology. We have something on homeland security. I have my lectures at ellectures@webs.com, and bit of an environment also, Lakes for Life. Facebook, social media, we have been talking about. I still feel that social media is just an add-on. It is not even a value add. That is my personal line of thinking. I might be wrong. Nonetheless, it needs to be very thoroughly monitored, supervised, and wherever required, intercepted, and responsive action ought to be taken. There are many very big crimes in this world could have been avoided had we monitored the social media in the manner it should be. Inclusive of something, I think Denmark or somewhere, we had those 94 persons who were killed. 6 hours before the actual killing, it was there on Facebook or one of the social media sites. I think now I come to my end of my disposition. So I would read it out. That would be simpler for me and would make a better impact than trying to speak it out offhand. So complexity is our life, and making it simple our goal. Technology gains the highest end, being simplistic in usage and comprehensive in products and services. The complexity of IT deployment gets confounded with innumerable applications, the processing power, the World Wide Web interface, cross-enterprise collaboration, and the like. Nonetheless, standardization, uniformity, alignment, collaboration, and integration have to be inbuilt into the integrated public safety and security enterprise to match the monumental challenges thrown at us. Thank you.